some drizzles, and I hope that has done it for you people. For the farmers, it should be a blessing. I know for people who worked too late, some are still trapped in their workplaces, but hopefully you've made it home safely this evening. And don't forget, you can be a part of this discussion every Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. All you have to do is go to our socials on Facebook and on YouTube, where you can like, subscribe, and also share these links with your friends so that everyone is a part of this discussion. The beauty with this is it's very interactive. All you have to do is leave a comment in the comment section, and we'll read your comment here. Depending on what topic it is, you can let us know how you feel or how we can tackle an issue that arises on the topic. A happy Eid Mubarak to our Muslim brothers who just enjoyed their Eid a few days ago. And if you were not invited, please next time be a good Christian and invite your friends for Christmas and for occasions like Easter, so that we get to share the solos all together. But all that in that, I pray that every day our faith increases. Whether you're Christian or a Muslim, it's all the same. We still pray to God. Faith is very, very important. But thank you for staying with us. And today in the studio, we delve into a discussion that is women-centered. It does not exclude anyone. Men are also invited to be a part of this discussion. Today in the studio, we have two beautiful ladies where we shall be discussing how women are breaking boundaries, mainly looking at the safe spaces, the hurdles, the milestones, the challenges that they have encountered, and also what the future is going to look like for women. I know many people have been complaining the focus has been so much on women. You know, everyone is talking about women, but is it true women are safe in these places where they are? We still continue to hear cases of women being raped. GBV is still on the rise. Women still being exploited and oppressed in their work, at their workplaces. Women still not, their rights are still being abused, and people saying men are being neglected. But are they being neglected? We'll get to discuss all that here on this show, here on WESTNILE TV. Without further ado, let's get to know our guests today here in the studio. Like I said, we're blessed with two beautiful young women in the house. It's my pleasure to give them this opportunity to introduce themselves to you. I'll start on my right. You're most welcome to WESTNILE TV. Please say hi to our viewer.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, viewers. My name is Akware Koni Diana. I am a young entrepreneur who's just starting a small business, and also a member of a women-led group. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Connie, before we jump to our next guest, what's your business? What business do you do?
I deal in poultry, and I also do farming.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. We have women going into, that kind of business, poultry and farming and all that. Thank you so much, Connie. Let's get to our next guest. You're most welcome to WESTNILE TV. Please say hi to our viewer.
Thank you, Lillian. Good evening, our viewers. By the names of I call Joyce, you can call me Joy. I manage a small business around town called Joash Fashions and Events. We deal in fashion designing, events management, do it whatever event you have, from corporate to weddings, intros, and many more. And also I'm a part of a small women's group that has brought us here. That is the Chambers, which is the reason as to why we're here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joas and Connie, for joining us on this discussion today. Now, like I said, our discussion is going to focus on women breaking boundaries, looking at the safe spaces, the hurdles, the milestones, and also the challenges and what the future looks like for women. Now, if you're someone who has been observing the trend, this is not the position that women used to take, being CEOs, being business owners, women venturing into some of these big businesses like poultry. I don't think we used to have so many women venturing into that as a business, but now we have heard of women who are CEOs, women who are running companies, but most of all we have women-led organizations that are in place to create safe spaces for women to see that women empowered, women grow, and women make it to some level. There is equality, addressing also most of the challenges that women face in their daily life. Now, before we go deeper into understanding today's topic, we may want to start with understanding the personal stories of these young women, how they have broken barriers to rise to where they are, how they have made it, how they have come to achieve whatever they have achieved, and also looking at the challenges they have had to overcome and how they overcame the challenges to be where they are right now. We'll start with Miss Joyous here.
Thank you once again, Lillian. My life story, how I came up with Joash Fashions and Events, started in the year 2018. It was an initiative that I myself and my husband came up with. By then, I was working with a company around town called Art Zone as a graphics designer. I graduated in industrial art and designing. So when he told me I should come up with a business plan and see what we can do so that I don't have to work as in for someone, but come up with my own business. So he gave me an assignment of doing a market research around town and coming up with a business idea. So when I did my own market research and looking at the field that I was coming from, and the fact that I always had a passion in art, so I told myself, Joy, you can do this, especially when it came to fashion. It's something I'd always loved to do. So I'm like, this is what I want to do. So I'm going to do fashion and incorporate it with something else, which, in other words, the events bit of it, that's when it came in. And then I'm like, I can do fashion and events, because those are two things which can go hand in hand. So my life journey of this business, officially, we opened Joash Fashion and Events in the year 2019. We located it at the Royal Taxi Park when the new taxi park opened. It hasn't been an easy journey because the market is very competitive. So if I begin with fashion, when you look at our town, it has hundreds of tailors.
Yeah, sure.
It has many tailors, but then I asked myself, me as Joy, how am I going to break through the market chain? Like, come on top and make a name for myself, like, this is me, this is my brand. How am I going to create this? So I started off with my fashion journey, and it went on. It was a little bit sluggish at the beginning, but eventually as time went on, people picked interest in what I was doing, and the fact that I was creating something good and different. And when your handwork is good, people will always look up to what you're doing, and they'll reach up to you wherever you are. Even if your station is at home, they can easily call you and say, make for me this or do for me that. So that's how my fashion journey has been going on. And the other bit of it being events, I came into that market when other people were obviously there. You can't expect to be alone in the market.
Okay, I know, before you, sorry for interrupting, that bit of events, there are a lot of men who are in that area. We've had, names, and you have been able to break through as a woman. Now, there's one thing people have out there: a woman cannot compete like with a man. But we see you have been able to break through and make a name for yourself as a woman. How did you do that?
Actually, with the raw town, the funny bit is the events business earlier on had been dominated by women.
That's beautiful.
Because when I came into this business, about 3 or 4 people that I knew were into this business were all women. So it was actually easy to come in, and it was later on that's when I saw men coming in into this business. I now know about 3 or 4, 5 men who are into this business, but it isn't a difficult thing to do really when it comes to events bit. It's a matter of you knowing what you want and what your customer or clients really need. So you have to offer your clients what they want in order for you to beat the market, you know. Many clients come with different demands. One comes with the other and the other comes with different. So you find it's not an everyday thing that it's the same things that you have to do. Some things are the same, but others aren't the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now that the men have come into this market, it's competitive, right? But still, I think the women are still in the lead of the game.
That is good to know.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Jazz, for sharing that story right there into the fashion industry. It's a very competitive industry, by the way. We have women, we have men, and everyone is trying to do this and that. But later on, we'll also analyze, you know, people have a mind how women perceive, young ladies, let's say, perceive fashion these days. We see how they dress up. So someone raises a question, is fashion dressing up naked? I mean, is it all about you know, being nude, naked all the time? You're showing your boobs, you're showing your buns. Okay, do you think the young girls of today have misinterpreted what fashion is based on how they dress up?
Fashion, I think, should represent one's personality. It's true, some young girls of nowadays have misinterpreted it. They think fashion means going nude or naked. You have to put on those transparent clothes and all, but that's not fashion. You see these, the fashion magazines and all that. Some of these people, these fashion shows, where you find a fashion designer, his collection is all about damage, let's say. It's all about damage, and it has lots of damage. But that doesn't mean that everyone out there should be into damage, you know. How do you put on that damage? It matters.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing that story, inspirational story coming in from you. I hope we are picking something from the story. Now turning to this beautiful lady here, Connie, take us through your journey of, you know, being into the poultry business. Okay, as a female entrepreneur, the milestones you've hit, the hurdles you've got to face, you know, those challenges, and how you've been able to pull through the challenges.
Okay, thank you, Lillian, for this opportunity. Actually, I wanted to first add on one point that Joy had talked about, the dangers or challenges that we get in this market demands or the competitive world. You know, what I've realized is people look at men as they're the ones who can lead in most of these fashion designs, not considering that women can also do better. Now, on my issue of poultry business, I started way back in 2017, but then at one point when I was facing some challenges of finances, my dad came in to support me. He's a great man, and all thanks to the men outside there who are supporting their women to have access to have the businesses and also boost their businesses. Actually, my dad has been my one support mentor in this poultry business. He had started the poultry way back, but after some time he kind of declined because now giving way to us, the children, to take over the poultry business. I want to say that in Tororo, where I come from, in the next 2 years, I know I'm going to be the leading person supplying poultry in the whole district. Then also I do farming as a person. I grow food crops in large scale, and we have a store in Toro Town where we do most of these things. But this it has given me opportunity to at least know the market demand, know the market analysis, know the world, what is evolving around the world. I know most of the youths will say that you know, they want white collar job. Yes, I do a white collar job, but as well, I supplement my incomes with the small monies that I get from the farming and also the poultry. I want to say, Lillian, that I'm so happy to be here because I also have girl children who I'm taking care, who are under my care. And through these monies, it's a way of how I'm paying their school fees quite easy for me.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, very interesting. Coming in from one empowered lady, two ladies here in the house. We've seen how women are breaking boundaries, rising, doing what they were not allowed to do. Okay, I don't want to say not allowed to do, but we're restricted from doing certain things. But now we're seeing women getting to, you know, to use their, utilize their full potential into some of these works, and this has been possible because there has been a lot of safe spaces that has been there to allow these women, you know, get into this field, be able to compete with these men. Of course, we're talking about safe competition, not the other kind of competition. Women are able to get into being CEOs, be leaders. Women are into leadership. Women are changing the world. Women are putting in the effort that we're not being utilized into use now, and we're seeing it's doing wonders. So I'll start with Joyce. What are some of these safe spaces that are available that women are tapping into and can still tap into to make sure they utilize their potential and make a change in this world?
Thank you, Lillian, once again. The good thing is our government is very, very okay and supportive towards women initiatives. When you look at the government of Uganda, it has so many opportunities it offers for women. You know, every day a woman steps out there, there is a challenge she has to face. You come out of home, you're stared at, they analyze how you look,
Yeah, sure.
how you dress.
We don't like it.
It's true.
Yeah, sure.
We don't like it, that's true. So every time you step out of home, just so you know, as a woman, you need to hold your head high because our government supports us as women. There are so many government initiatives for women, so many programs that the government has put to support these women in our communities, in many different places across the country, you know. So every single time a woman comes up with an idea, I think the community and its leaders need to support us. We need to engage our communities to support the women and girls right from home to schools to our workplaces. You know, for instance, when it comes to schools, girls face a lot of challenges. Things like bullying, they can throw words at you, you're fat, you're ugly, you're this, you're that.
I know, body shaming.
So teachers should create friendly spaces for these girls.
Yeah, sure.
Like creating groups to talk to these girls. I remember when we were still young, we used to have senior woman teachers who would gather girls, and you're brought into a classroom. They talk to you about sexual reproductive health. They talk to you about your bodies, how your bodies are going to start developing, how your bodies will start developing.
Yeah.
So many things that we need to do for these girls and women so that they are comfortable in their own communities. You know, in a community where a woman is shamed or thrown words at, you will never feel comfortable. That's why you see women end up doing absurd things. One can even end up committing suicide because you feel unwanted. Right from home, if your parents don't appreciate you as a girl, there's a way you feel off. You know, I feel right from home, from our own families, you know, like they say charity begins at home.
Yeah, sure.
If your parents talk to you always and telling you you're good as a girl, you can do this, you can always manage, believe me, out there you'll go with your head raised high and you know what you're doing is the right thing.
Okay, interesting. Now, safe spaces in schools are very important. I believe even in lower primaries,
Yeah,
where we
sure.
have those senior woman teachers, because at this age, there are these young girls, and their bodies are undergoing changes, and a lot is happening. So when she does not understand her body, or maybe he is happy as saying something like you said already, and then they get affected. Their self-esteem is already affected, and that affects how she relates in the future and how she chooses to live her life in the future. Turning to you, Connie, what are some of the safe spaces that are available for women to tap in?
Okay, thank you so much, Lillian and Joy. Actually, Lillian, Joy's presentation of creating safe spaces in schools is very, very ideal. When you look at the current adolescents who are at school, these are kids who are already mature enough. Looking at COVID-19 also brought in about 2 years of not going to school, and you find a child who's in P7 is about 17 years. Remember, we are dealing with mature adults already. So creating safe place in schools where these kids can air their issues, it's a great thing to do. Then also when you look at organizations like the clubs that we create for ourselves, like maybe in our organizations, these are some of the spaces where we can air our issues. For example, if you take an example of the humanitarian workers, they have safe spaces where women gather. They talk about the issues that are affecting them at home. You know, it is very hard to find somebody on the street and say, you know, my husband beat me yesterday, this and this happened, my friend harassed me, maybe I went to this workplace and somebody tapped on my butt, you know, those sexual harassment. So when we have these like clubs, even if they're online, or where we can meet together and say, Lillian, you look here, yesterday this and this happened to me at home. Joy, look here, yesterday I went to this institution, and this man asked me for my number. When I gave him the number, maybe the following day he called me, you know, Connie, can we meet? You know, we are like every day in our lives, we are like anything can happen. Also, I think creating like workshops, like for example, when you talk about creating like having trainings or mentorship programs where ladies who are in leadership positions can come along and tell us that, you know, it gives us the confidence, you know. Like I want to talk about the chambers, you know, yeah. When we had that, that gathering, I know it gave some of us the confidence to stand up and say, no, I can fight for my rights, you know. I can say this and this in the organization and my decision is made. I can maybe go to the managerial position. I can also be a manager. Actually, come next year, if my organization is looking for a meal specialist, trust me, I'm going to apply for it, because I have the confidence now. I know I can say this is right and this is not right. And Lillian, I know in most of these forums where we gather and meet, and talk about this gender biasness in organizations. Also, we need to talk about something in relation to equal payment, like in organizational levels. You find that
gender payment gap.
Yes, actually. You find that most of the managers who are men are paid more than the ladies. For reason being, you find that they associate us with these gender responsibilities and roles. And you know, as women, we have very many gender roles and responsibilities. Today, maybe in a month, I have 3 days off because I'm nurturing something, you know. Maybe I'm pregnant and I have I have maternity leave. So you find that the male subordinates are paid more than the female subordinates because of gender roles and responsibilities, not knowing this is what God put in the women. So it's a natural being, you get.
Okay, thank you for bringing out the safe spaces in workplaces, because we've heard of women being harassed, women being exploited at their workplaces, and they don't have you know, where to talk about it freely. But if a safe space is created for women at every workspace to talk about these things, I think women can be safe and will be able to perform their roles as expected. It's not true that because of other, you know, gender roles, maybe other things like childbirth, women perform less. No, a woman can still do. Still talking about that, we see that women have, when a woman is pregnant, she has to go on maternity leave for some period of time. But then, do you think this is being observed by every organization? Are they being given the period that they are supposed to have after having their babies, maybe during the time of the pregnancy?
Yeah, I think most organizations now have increased their maternity leave from 3 months to 4. Actually, the first company that I worked for, it was a factory around Bogolobi called Fine Spinners. I had to quit my job because I was going on a maternity leave, and their maternity leave was only for 2 months. So I imagined myself leaving my baby at 2 months and going back to work. I said, no, I can't do this, because by then I imagined the kid is still too young and still needs my attention. So I had to quit and go look after my child. But right now, most organizations, even the government, has increased their maternity leave days. It's now like 4 months. So I think that's more than enough period of time for mothers to nurse their kids and then go back to work. But most of the organizations also, they do pay for this maternity leave. It's not ignored, it's normally paid for.
Okay, it's good to know that these organizations, give them the time that they need to nurse their babies. It's so unfortunate that you had to quit your job. This is just an example of how what women go through. I believe not all organizations allow women to have like 3 months of or 4 months of maternity leave, because some even do as little as 1 month.
Yeah, sure.
So now you have to choose between your family, your baby, and work. And we know women, we will always go for our family. So you can always find a work somewhere else. So what we are saying is that every organization should observe this and let them have their maternity leave, so that they tend to their babies and also have a time to recover from childbirth, so as to perform their roles like they should. And we've talked about safe spaces at workspaces, but then we want to look at these women in rural areas, and these women are mostly subjected. They're the ones who are mostly facing this gender-based violence things at home, where you said your husband beats you and you're not able to talk about it freely, because some of them don't have formal jobs. For example, going to let's say to an office, but we have them doing various businesses, going to the market and this and that. So what safe spaces are available for them to tap in?
Okay. Sorry, Jay.
Okay.
When we look at our mothers deep down there in the village, I think when we look at places like VSLA, where they meet and do their savings from, I think we can create a safe space for them. I know VSLA, sometimes it's both women and men, but then we can at least look at only the VSLA that are women-led, where these women can come and I know, in most cases, some of these women, they have resistance from their husbands. So when I tell my husband I'm going to meet other women outside there, it's going to be like, maybe I'm going. So when you talk about maybe the gender-based violence, where you find even in police, there is a safe space. When you go to organizations like Plan, they have safe spaces where people can go and report. You get? And also FIDA Uganda is offering such services where women can go and you report your issues. I've seen organizations there, even in Arua, West Nile here. Look at this organization called Amani Initiative, where women go and they learn like skills, they are doing crafts and what. And when you're not feeling fine, you can at least tell your friend, you know what, this happened yesterday, and I feel it's maybe hindering me, and yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Connie, for that input. Joy had something to say?
Yeah, good.
Okay, well, there are a lot of safe spaces that are available for women to tap in, and good enough. Some are provided by men, where they conduct, these all-night sessions for women through different organizations. They come encourage these women to talk about the challenges that they're facing and also how to address them. We see men playing a very important role in, saying that women have a safe space. Women are out there doing what they should be doing. Women have an opportunity to do whatever they desire to do. So let's look at the role that men play in particularly empowering women today. What are some of those things that men have done to support women empowerment?
Thank you, Lillian, once again. Men have played a very important role for women leadership in our societies. I'll take an example of myself. Today I want to say the way I am, how I am, and how I'm managing my business is all thanks to my husband.
Oh my God, that's good to hear. We should all have supportive men.
Yes, I think for married women, if you have a very supportive husband, a supportive partner, you can always make it.
Yeah.
Men really play very important roles. For instance, financial help. That is one of the key factors. Many women may not have the financial stability to establish their own businesses, but when you have a supportive man beside you who can chip in something to back you up, maybe you have an input and then he adds on something to back you up and you create your business, that's really very important. And men should, I think, be really understanding to women, with women, especially with the kinds of work that they do.
Sure.
In this case, I'm going to talk more about myself here. My work demands a lot of my time. Going to the field, sometimes you spend a night over. So imagine if you don't have a supportive partner, what happens? Your family can easily break, Many issues can easily rise up, and then you get misunderstandings and you find that you're splitting up. But financial help, being supportive, encouraging, those are many factors that men really do also help in promoting women and millions.
Okay, Lillian, I don't know whether I can supplement on what Joy has just said. I'm a living example of a broken relationship because of working hours.
That's sad.
If I give my example, like way back when I was still working with some banking institution that I will not mention the name, and being a banker, you go early morning at 7 and you sometimes leave at 10. And these men will not understand that this is the kind of work you're doing. And by the time you come back, your brain is already, you're thinking of the targets that you're going to meet the following day. So it becomes hard. If you don't have a supportive husband then it becomes hard for you to navigate these challenges. So that is how I broke my relationship. So also to add on what Joy has said about supportive husband, my dad, as I said earlier, has been my role model. Like, he pushes me. He has given me the opportunity to grow in my own space, financially, and also I think, Lillian, we need to do more of engaging these men to at least create some awareness that they can help their women. There's these cultural norms, Some men are still living in 8 years where they know that a man is supposed to provide for the family. It's the role of the man every day to provide for the family. And it's not the case. It's an evolving world and things are changing. Technology is advancing. So if I can buy tomatoes, let him pay for school fees for the children. So I think there's a lot of awareness creation that needs to be done. And also involving these men in these safe spaces. Yeah, if we have the women gathered, can we bring one man to talk about his situation, to tell these women how he has maybe empowered his wife socially, can be socially, economically, in all aspects of life. And also, when you look at programs that women like led or women initiatives, like you find programs at the district level. Actually, the government has brought programs that allowing women to air out their frustrations and also give some grants or loans. Yeah, for example, you look at Emyoga. Actually, in my district, Emyoga was only given to women and not the men, to empower them also have some small businesses that can help them grow and live them. You know, a man will go early morning, go and drink and will not mind about the children. And here he's telling you, you have to be home, you're not supposed to work. You get it? Take an example of myself, where the man said, if you want this relationship to work, then you have to be at home. I have children I'm supporting. And this man, his salary cannot feed us. I give support to the children, give support to my parents. So I chose to take on my career and lose the relationship. And I'm happy. Where I am now, I'm very happy. So I think involving men in all these issues of women can promote awareness.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow, that's soul touching right there. Some of the things women have to go through. You know, most people are familiar with the saying, behind a successful man, there is a woman. But then we are moving towards behind a successful partner, there is a supportive partner. Of course, if a man is, if there's a supportive woman making a man successful, he should equally be supportive, support the woman in whatever she wants to do. We've seen examples of men who support their women. We see Joy here, Connie here, a living example of men supporting their women. You know, one time a man said that he cannot marry a woman to stay home, but what he wants to do is he can spoil his woman, but not directly. What he wants to do is empower his woman to do whatever business she wants to do, so that she gets to spoil herself the way she wants. Regardless of the business she wants, he is able to. So that is just an example of how you can empower your woman. You know, unempowered a woman is like a huge responsibility taken away from a man, because if you do not empower your woman, then you have to carry the burden of the family alone. Like she already said, they say men are naturally providers, but if you give, if you support your woman, she can help you. You know, both of you can shoulder this responsibility. Unfortunately, not so many men see it that way. We still have instances of men wanting their women to stay home. For example, there was a story of a woman in the village who, you know, the husband, like you say, the men just come out. Men have a habit of these days resorting to drinking from morning there by the roadside, drinking, and then they have, he doesn't care whether the children have breakfast or lunch or even have supper, but then there's a woman who is cooking ahead to see that these children get some of the basic needs like water, like food and all that. So it's very important for men to support their women in whatever they're doing. And then that brings us to one of the issues that is there today. We've seen a lot of women-led families, families that are being completely supported by women, where men have decided to withdraw. I don't know for whatever reason, but we have a lot of these, and this comes with a lot of challenges. It's just one of the challenges that women face today. So let's go to the general challenges that women face today in their everyday life as they try to make a way, maybe a living, to support their family, or maybe support themselves to stand up today.
Today in our communities, women face so many of these challenges, whereby their husbands or their partners have abandoned them and have left the responsibility of their homes on them. You find there's a husband in a home, but it's like there is no man. You know, this is common in even in town setting or even in the villages, where a husband wakes up in the morning, only goes to drink and expects the woman to go out. You dig the whole day, you come, go look for what to put on the table, and then in the evening when he comes, he's like, where is the money you worked for? and you have to give that money. When you give, what does he do? He goes back to the center and he's again drinking. You know. And then there's this challenge of men abandoning women with children. You know, people get into relationships, and then when it comes to the time that I'm pregnant, the man goes for good and he never shows up again. So what happens? A woman ends up taking the responsibility for that kid. You raise the child on your own, from pregnancy to nursing the child to school fees. You find everything is you. You call a man 1,000 times and he doesn't respond. He doesn't give you a single cent to raise your own child. So these challenges are so many, and our girls out there are facing these things every single day. And many of them are sitting on these problems and they don't speak up. And unfortunately, some of them don't learn. Today, a man has impregnated you and left you with a kid, and tomorrow again, you're out again with another one and impregnates you again and has left you again.
Yeah.
And then you have 2, 3 children to look after, but where is their dad? Where is the father of these children? When you ask, they will tell you, I don't know. You see? So many families out there are facing these challenges. At the end of the day, these girls, when they face these problems, there's no man to marry them. Where do they go? Back to their parents. So you find your mother is raising you and raising the grandchildren. You can't help your mom to provide for these children. And you find that maybe even your dad himself is not in the picture. It's only your mom as a single mother raising you, plus your kids and the grandkids. So it's a huge responsibility on these women. Now I think men out there should style up, should grow, especially these young boys. You know, boys don't want to take responsibility for their actions. People have grown. When you know by the time you're dating a woman and you're going to get her pregnant, you should be responsible for the child that she's carrying. You know, why at the end of the day get someone's child pregnant and then you jump and you're like, this is not my kid? Why? You abandon them and they have to shoulder that responsibility alone, which is a huge responsibility, honestly. It's not easy to raise a child on your own as a woman. We always need support of a man or of someone besides that, especially when you're a mother, you always need the support of the child's father, because this child needs shelter, this child needs clothing, this child needs feeding. Tomorrow this kid is going to go to school, there's tuition. Nowadays schools are very expensive.
Yeah.
You find your source of income is very little and you can't even sustain yourself. But here you are, you have a child, there's also you yourself. That's why sometimes you see people just looking the way they are, you find like as if someone is going crazy. And you wonder what is the problem.
Yeah.
It's the stress that people are going through.
Yeah, sure.
And who is bringing about this stress? It's the men.
You know?
It's the men. So at the end of the day, people should take responsibility for their actions.
Yeah.
You know, society or our communities should come up with programs to sensitize people on these things. I was once a member of YAM, that is Youth Action Movement. It was an umbrella under RHU. There, they sensitize the youth on so many things to do with sexual reproductive health. But I think also, again, our community has ignored so many things. Those days, they used to have radio programs to educate people about these things, on sexual reproductive health, on how people should handle themselves, you know, so many things. But today, you tell me, you tune a radio station and ask me how many programs are there to sensitize people on these issues of sexual reproductive health. You'll find a radio station will run throughout the day and you'll hear only one advert. Yeah. Or 2 pieces. Organizations have withdrawn from these things, and secondly, let's say the world we're in today has spoiled our kids. Social media, these phones, you see, these smartphones. People learn so many absurd things on internet. The internet can be good. There are so many good things you can learn from the internet, but at the same time it can also spoil you, especially the youth of today. So these are women out there who are alone, living lives alone, and like, you know, no total support. They are just so many. And I think we need to come out. The society needs to do a lot of sensitization in the communities, in our churches, you know, just so we could improve on some of these challenges.
All right. Thank you, Joy, for spelling out some of those challenges. So now, if you're catching us here, we are on the topic of women breaking boundaries, looking at the hurdles, the milestone, the challenges that they're facing, and what the future holds for women. You can let us know what you think about this topic. What is your say in this? You let us know by going to our YouTube channel. All you have to do is like and leave a comment. You can also share the link with your friends so that they are a part of this discussion. Don't go away. We're going for a very short break, and we'll be back with the discussion on some of the challenges and how we can deal with these challenges, and also looking at the role that a women-led organization play in empowering women in our communities. Don't go away.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
AFCON, all 52 games live only on StarTimes. StarTimes brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13th, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your StarTimes subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. StarTimes, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Thank you for joining us and staying with us here on West Nile TV, lighting up the region. If you have just joined us, you are most welcome. This is The Real Talk with me, Lillian Ayot, every Saturdays from 8 to 10 p.m. We do this here on this show called The Real Talk. The beauty with this show is you can be a part of this conversation. If you have a burning issue, or you want to put out an opinion, you want to disagree with something or agree with something, you want to affirm something or refute anything, all you have to do is go to our YouTube channel and let us know exactly how you feel or what you think about today's discussion. And today we focus on women breaking barriers, centering around the hurdles, the milestones, and also the challenges that women have faced in the struggle to get where they are, you know, in the various areas of leadership, entrepreneurship, sports, mention it, very many areas and realms that women have tapped into, and we've seen them doing amazing job wherever they are, putting out beautiful, you know, leaving beautiful impact in their community and putting out good ideas that have led to, you know, positive change around the world in their communities and within themselves. You know, a woman also standing up for her rights also help empower another woman, inspires another woman to stand for her rights. And we've attributed this success of women to the various safe spaces that are available, the online spaces, the women shelters, you know, women organizations, women event. We have also events and organizations that are led by men, where women have safe spaces in their workplaces, in their community, anywhere they are, where they're able to talk about issues affecting them and also share experiences, gain ideas on how to improve themselves, how they can do better in some areas, and, you know, actualize themselves, which is a very important point. And in the studio we have two beautiful ladies here who have joined us to, you know, do this conversation, and together with you will be able to eat in this conversation and understand and also help run this discussion. Now, we were discussing some of the hurdles that women face in you know, as they go into the world to do some of these things. We want to continue the conversation with Connie here. Connie, what are some of the hurdles that women face in accessing some of these safe spaces, and also some challenges? For instance, now we see there are very many single mothers that are around us, even in our communities. Some of our relatives are single mothers, but painfully it's young girls who are out there on their own. So what is the problem? Is the problem coming from us women? Don't we know our sexual rights anymore? Don't we know our rights, or there are any other issues?
Okay, thank you, Lillian. I will start with the hurdles and the challenges that these women face in accessing the safe places. When you look at some of the safe spaces that are put in place, you find that the distance to such places, when you look at our village deep down there where we are coming from, like the distances to these safe spaces, it's quite long, and you find that a person who does not have transport cannot go and access such a place. So that means the person is going to sit with her problem in her home and say that after all, I don't have the money to go there. So that is a way some of these women tend to shy away. Then also resistance from men. Lillian, I want to bear with me that most of these men, they feel like when their women are going out there to air their problems, it's like they are bringing out their weaknesses. So they don't allow them to go and meet fellow women and discuss the issues that are affecting their day-to-day lives. Another one is about the lack of information about these safe spaces. If like these women are not educated or they don't have information about the availability of these safe spaces in a particular location, they will not have that knowledge to go and say that, let me take my problem there, perhaps I'll get a solution to it. Then getting back to the challenges that we have, very many mothers, single mothers without the male figures in our lives. You know, somehow I want to attribute it to maybe the government census, where they say that the ratio nowadays is 1 to 5. Though I don't have the right statistics, but that is the statistic that was done way back. So men feel like to have this, you know, I want to make myself like superior in the community among the youths or among the men. Someone will say that having 2 women increases economic stability. In this sense, they're looking at like when you bring 2 women, you're going to have human resource, like more so in farming. In terms of farming, like you have at least 2 people added in the family, so this can dig at least a bigger space compared to when
looking for source of labor.
Exactly, you know. Somebody will say that if you want to be recognized as a leader, you must have more than 2 women. And also these cultural norms, like background, family backgrounds. Like, you know, my father married 3 women. So me as a boy, I will also have to continue with the same, the legacy. Actually, I'm carrying on the legacy of my forefathers. When you look at also religious norms, let me talk about 1 or 2. When you look at the, I don't know, the Muslim kind of setting where they say if you're stable, you can marry more than 1 woman. So I feel those are some of the issues that are making these young girls go on the streets without male figures in their lives.
Okay,
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe. Connie, for that beautiful input, explaining some of the hurdles that women face, you know, in their day-to-day life as they try to self-actualize themselves, work here and there to see ends meet, and also see they stand on their own to be independent women, because today every woman aspires to be very independent. First of all, men say they don't just work women who sit, and then you also see there are these men who want the women to sit at home. So we are confused, but regardless, it doesn't affect us. For us, we want to be independent, so we are working. Now, as we draw close to the conclusion of this show, we want to look at the role that women-led organizations play in providing safe spaces for women, and how they have empowered women to stand for their rights, to be empowered economically, in leadership. We've seen women create an impact in the different realms of life. Yeah. So what is the role of these organizations? I know we're all from Chambers here. We could start with Chambers and any other organization that exists within locally or internationally. I know a few, like the Amani Initiative. Yeah. We also have the Nile Girls Foundation. Those a lot of organizations, and one of them is Chambers. So you may want to take us through some of the roles that these organizations play in empowering women.
Yeah, there are so many women-led organizations right now across the country, and as well as in our societies. These organizations have offered space for women in leadership roles, and in many other, and giving them many other opportunities in the different organizations. Nowadays, there are many organizations that are led by women, you know, gender equality, and this offers friendly space for girls and women to air out their views easily. In a society, they say in a society where, or in a company that employs, that has equal opportunities for women and men, you find the company grows faster compared to one that is dominated by men.
Yeah, sure.
Why? It's because women are more friendly to deal with compared to men. When you look at many companies, you'll take an example. Most companies, even at the front desk, you'll find there's a lady seated,
Yeah, sure.
and not a man.
Why is it that receptionists are women?
It's, you know, the women have some friendliness towards them compared to men. A lady can sit at the front desk and offer you a smile compared to men. Most of them you find are seated with gloomy faces. Someone is smiling like as if he doesn't want to smile.
I know.
So
And
you might
also,
end up,
if somebody has been like back then at home,
you
somebody
had a
has,
bad day.
you know.
So you serve it to everyone.
Yeah, you end up serving it to everyone. So women are generally, women are these soft-spoken people
Yeah, sure.
who, you know, people find it easy to deal with. A company where there are more women, you find that it's easy to deal with people. Although some women are really hard to deal with, you may find you're dealing with a woman, but you'll be asking yourself, is this a man or a woman that I'm dealing with? Some are also very complicated too. But at the end of the day, all in all, it's most times you find people say it's easier to work with women than working with men. I experience that a lot in my field of work.
Okay.
You find a client tells me, I'd rather talk to you, or I bargain with you rather than talking to your husband. Because we run the company hand in hand. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's him. So you find they're like, let me talk to you. Maybe you'll be able to chop some, you know, money.
Give some discount.
Discount and all that compared to him. So the friendliness women offer, you know, it's more comforting in our work environment. Actually, it's just something women are inborn with, right from, you know, it's just something God created us to be. Soft, and how we should handle things shouldn't be the hard way. And then in companies, in organizations, in whatever business that we handle, I think this friendly space for women is very important.
Yeah, sure.
So that women are able to air out their views. You know, a lady who is down here, let's say a cleaner, who is facing sexual harassment from a fellow worker, may find it hard to speak to the boss who is a man. You know, but when a company is headed by a lady, you find this lady down here, this employee here, might be able to present her problem to the boss who is a woman easily compared to when she's facing a man. So these companies or associations which are led by women, mostly you find they offer more space for women to speak up.
Yeah, sure.
You know, they offer more space for women to speak up, air their views, and you find these women who are also in big organizations, there's a way they serve as an example to the younger ones. Each one of us, believe me, when we are growing up, we have a role model, someone we look up to.
Yeah.
You know, especially in the lady aspect. You look at her like, I admire this woman's way of doing things. I wish tomorrow if I grow up, I want to be like them. You know, how you carry yourself, how you present yourself, how you do your things. You never know, out there you're inspiring someone, unknowingly or knowingly. You know, these women, they inspire many. One time someone called me and was like, I love what you do. You inspire me a lot. You know, she had also started her own business of decoration, and then she's like, you inspire me a lot, and what I'm doing today is because of you. I love what you're doing.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful, you know. And I felt like, wow, I didn't know I was doing that. I was simply doing my job. I'm like, this is my company. I'm running it the way I want, you know. But down there, I'm inspiring someone to be better than me or to be like me, you know. So I think women should always hold their heads high, move out, step out with confidence, and do your thing with passion, you know.
That is it.
If you're doing that work and it's what really puts food on your table, do it with passion, because at the end of the day, it's what's putting food on your table, and at the same time, you're inspiring a girl down there that you really don't know about, and they're really looking up to you.
Okay, that's very, very beautiful. The part where a lady draws, you know, inspiration from you. And now we turn to Connie.
Okay.
You know, we have many of these women-led organizations.
Yeah,
I
sure.
believe you're in one, or you have ever been in one. So how has it impacted your life and the lives of other women out there?
Okay, thank you so much, Lillian and Joy. I want to just add a few points on what Joy has said. One, you know, these platforms. For example, let me talk about Chambers. Yeah.
Chambers, hi.
Hi. Hi, there's a lot of advocacy that these women-led organizations do. Now, when you look at Chamber, the way it's growing, trust me, the next 1 or 2 years, if all of us are like, have that same goal, and I believe all of us in that chamber has this, we have the same goals. So by the end of 2 years, 3 years, you'll find that we are even bringing out policies that can be adopted by other organizations or the government. You get? Then also, when you bring about women empowerment, this women-led organizations has groomed a lot of women. Get? I want to talk about Seford. Take an example of Seford. The person who was the program manager there, she became an MP at one point. So all this is like some of the roles that this women-led organization play in our role. Also skills development. Like, you know, I can now talk with confidence because why I'm here is because of the Chambers, you get. So I've drawn that confidence from Chambers, and I know I look at someone and say that if this person can speak like this, but who am I, Connie? I think you can do better, you get. Okay. So when you look at one person doing the same, and tomorrow you are also doing the same thing, it encourages you day in, day out. Also, when you look at these women-led organizations, the spaces that they create for women to talk about their issues. Guys, these spaces help us air out issues. Today I can come very gloomy, like I come in maybe in the office very gloomy, but then I go to Chambers and find, you know, Belinda has posted something that is making me like, you know, laugh, and I'm cheered up, you get. Or somebody has sent a quote that is talking about carrying myself with maybe a lot of passion and having that and having that self-confidence, and also, you know, it all comes on how you're dressing, how you're, you know, all these. And I'm cheered up, and the day continues.
Okay, that's very beautiful. Women inspiring women. And for those who have stayed with us on this conversation, thank you so much. I know the ladies from Chambers are all out there watching. Thank you for staying with us. Now, before we go to the end, I want to read out some of the comments that we have on the YouTube. We have people who are catching us there. We have Chambers waiting for what's unfolding. It's gonna be powerful, I'm sure. Thank you so much, Chambers, for staying with us. You ladies are so beautiful. Thank you for appreciating. We have Amanda Faith Sharon who says, loving what I hear from the ladies at Joy and Connie. And we have Adraka Simon who says, I'm loving this. Thank you very much for joining us on this. We have Claudia Edna who says, Chambers to the world. And Elaine says, Chambers with elegance. Thanks, Joy and Connie, for the great ideas shared. Aluma Hayat says, oh yes, good job, ladies. The sky is the limit. Hashtag Chambers. So these ladies came here with full force. I can see we have Suzanne who says, that's so true. And she continues to say, well said. Thank you so much for catching. We have Queen Melanie who says, Wululu Connie, you're nailing it with a smile. And is on check and the right dress. Thank you for appreciating. We have Susan who still says, you can say that again. Indeed, men need to be involved in these safe spaces. Thank you so much for your input. We have Judith who says, ow, Ow, this is interesting. Chambers Global, Aleni says our next generation is in safe hands. Thank you for appreciating. Abiku Charity says, well done, ladies. Thank you for encouraging your fellow women and urging men to support women. Kudos. Thank you so much, Charity, for staying with us. We have Fina who says, Chambers, hi, and Chambers thanking us here again. Thank you for sending us very eloquent ladies here today. Mongochi Belinda, CEO Chambers, says, thank you, WESTNILE TV, for this wonderful opportunity. Thanks, Lillian, Connie, and Joy. Thank you all for catching us on today's episode. Now, before we sign up, let's have our guest put out their last messages to all who are watching, and also say hi to a few people. We'll start with Joy.
To everyone, to all the viewers out there, especially to the men, I'll say this: please support your women. For those who are married, support your wives, your partners, in whatever they intend to do, for as long as it's with good intentions. For the parents, the dads, support your daughters. You never know, your daughters look up to you so much, the same way I looked up to my dad. May he so rest in peace.
Amen.
He encouraged me so much to continue with my art, and today I'm able to put food on my table because of my art and because my dad encouraged me so much. So the male gender out there, do not shame women. Be supportive of them, of their ideas, of whatever it is that they want to do, for as long as it's good. And where they go wrong, correct them. Do not just throw away the ideas and you're like, this is rubbish, you can't do this, you're this. Because at the end of the day, a supportive wife is your family will develop much quicker and faster when both partners are supportive to each other. And then to the organizations out there, please offer friendly space to the women to air out their views and support them as well. We need many more of these information out there for our women, because the ladies are so much suffering out there, many of them, and they don't air out their problems. But at the end of the day, when we offer them this friendly space to give in their opinions and their views, all shall be well in our communities, because our communities may grow faster because of them. And then to the chambers, a big thank you, Belinda, for this opportunity. You're good at giving encouragement. Even when I was like, I can't do this, you're like, you will do it. So we need more people like you out there to support the fellow woman. We need to support each other and encourage each other, because at the end of the day, we shall grow together as a team, as a family. To all the chambers, a big thank you. Thank you, Belinda, for having come up with this initiative of the chambers to bring the women together, to share in their ideas, their views, and learn from each other. A big thank you, and thank you to everyone else, and to you, Lillian. Thanks for hosting us. Thank you, WESTNILE TV. It was a pleasure being here.
Okay, thank you so much, Joy, for also honoring our invite to be on the show, The Real Talk here. And now turning to Connie, what are your last words to our viewer out there, and that message that you want our viewer to go away with today?
Okay, thank you so much, Lillian. Dear viewers, my one message goes to the men. Please, when you empower a girl child, you have empowered the whole nation. So as you're looking up for this woman, you're looking up for this girl, you're looking up for this lady, you're looking for this mother, you're looking up for this auntie, please, let's encourage them, let's empower them, let's give them time to air their issues, let's give them that, assurance that their decisions are also heard, either in higher levels or in lower levels, so that at one point, these are the very people who will support you. So for all the youths, let me say male figure youths who are planning like to marry, or they're in the process of formalizing their marriage or whatever, please, let's encourage our women. When you encourage your women, trust me, at the end of the day, when you're paying school fees, she will be catering for the rent and she'll be buying food in the house. Actually, we also feel proud, like when it's maybe Women Day and we're taking our men out, and it's me paying the bills. It's like a privilege that does not come with, every day. So let's appreciate, let's encourage the girl child, let's encourage the women outside there. Then to the chambers, Belinda, I want to appreciate you for having this group. And also we pray that in the next 2 years we'll be on other TV channels. They say UBC, NTV, NBS. This is a dream come true. And thank you, Lillian, for hosting us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ladies, for coming out here. Thank you, Chambers, and all other women-led organizations that are giving voices to women to be able to talk about their issues, identifying the challenges that they face, and also suggesting ways in how to deal with these challenges. But most importantly, giving them a voice and a platform to be able to exercise their rights and also do things that they wish to do to create an impact in the society. Thank you all for staying with us this evening. A big thank you to the chambers, all the ladies and everyone catching us today. A big thank you to our director Elliot for being behind the cameras and doing a good job, and also our producer Bonnie. Thank you so much for being with us here every Saturdays, and everyone, thank you very much. Otherwise, this is it for today. We shall be here again next Saturday from 8 to 10 p.m. Don't miss. We are always here to discuss issues, and don't forget, you can always be a part of this discussion. Don't go away. Continue watching West Nile TV. Stay tuned for the next program. From me to you on West Nile TV to you. Have a very lovely evening. See you again next week. Ciao.